Hi everybody, it's Patty, Rockstar Mom, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I know a lot of you are going to be happy because I am starting back my Little Red Box series, but it's going to change just a tad. With the exception of this video, I will be applying some of what you see in my Little Red Box. Some weeks it may be a full face, some weeks it may be just one or more products that you'll see me applying. But the Little Red Box is going to be geared toward cruelty-free products, and it will basically be my face of the week. So with just a very few changes, I'm going to try to wear the very same products for a week at a time. We'll see how it goes. So the revamp, the rebirth of the Little Red Box. So let me show you what I have on my face today. And by the way, I'll put everything in the description box, probably with a link where you can go if maybe you don't have access to these items and want them in your part of the world, okay? So the very first thing after my skincare and I'm ready to go, I applied some concealer just anywhere on my face that I need it. And this is a brand new concealer for me. My Ulta and Sephora were out of this color. I had to actually order it online. I kept thinking they would get it back in because I'd seen it reviewed and they didn't get it. So I finally went on Ulta's website and ordered my color. I wear the light medium in it. And it's the new Tarte Shape Tate. It's the new Tarte Shape Tape. It's the new Tarte Shape Tate. That is a mouthful. This is what it looks like. And if you've not seen it reviewed, look at this doe foot. It is huge. It's almost as big as my little finger. Look at it. I'm telling you, many of you have heard me say that my favorite concealer of all time is the Laura Geller Real Deal. This beats it. This beats it. A few days since I've received this, I would put a few dots all over my face and then blend it out with a brush, you know, like a foundation brush. I don't need makeup. I don't need foundation. It works fine. I have some really bad sunspots on my face that sort of come and go. This covers them completely. I love it. Love it. So that's the first thing I use is my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Now today I did use foundation, and this is Mineral Fusion liquid foundation, and I purchased this at Whole Foods when I was in Memphis, and I really do like it. I'm wearing the color Warm 2, and it works pretty well with my skin. I bought a second one because I wasn't quite sure, and the one I bought is a very light color. I think it's even too light for me when in the winter time, but what I'll do probably is mix a little of that with this to lighten this up just a little bit for winter. I won't need too much because the sun is out all the time here, but I'm really liking this foundation. It's a medium to heavy coverage. It's buildable, but with that Tarte Shape Tape concealer, I need very, very little of this. Very little. I'm loving this. The next thing we're going to go to, that I'm going to sort of go in the, I'm going to go in the order that I put things on. So the next thing I do is I line my tight line. And I'm using the Milani Supreme Kojal in the gold tube. And this is just a crayon eyeliner. and it's Kajal, it's black. So I line my upper waterline with that. And then I always come back and I've started holding off of lining my lower lash line until after I have all my eye makeup on, because I find sometimes I have a little bit of transfer onto the bottom and I may not need very much of this. So I may come back with this, but I may not, depending on how much is transferred down. The next thing I do is my eyeshadow. And this week I'm using one of my very favorite eyeshadow palettes. This one is by Milani, and this is an 01 Must Have Naturals Everyday Eyes. It has a little brush in that I have actually used many times. What I have on today, and they don't list the colors, but today I have this color right here all over my eye, except right under my brow. And right under my brow, I have this light color. Now, I just noticed, speaking of brows, that I do not have my eyebrows in here, but I can tell you what it is. It is the It Cosmetics brow pencil. And I am going to use it until I've used it up. I do like it. There are some other universal brow pencils very similar to it out there. But I'm going to use this one until I use it up, and then I will not repurchase it again, because she sold It Cosmetics to L'Oreal, and L'Oreal is not cruelty-free, and even though her excuse for selling it, or her reason for selling it for $1.2 billion, by the way, was so that she could reach more of her girls, her It girls globally. What she didn't say is China, and of course with China the products have to be tested on animals. It's the law there, because they do not have any animal rights laws in China and some other Asian countries. So she sold us out, girlfriend. She sold us out. I will tell you right now, I will never purchase another It product again. Never, never. You can't convince me that some of the money that I might spend, or you might spend, on her product is not going to go to testing some of the other brands that L'Oreal owns, testing on animals. It is going to happen, and I'm just not going to be a party to that. So I will not be buying any more It Cosmetics for that reason. She sold us all on the fact that she was cruelty-free, didn't you? We've been scammed. Well, maybe we weren't scammed, but if we continue to use it, we are being scammed. Okay, so sometimes, by the way, I will use this black, just instead of putting the pencil under my eye on my lower lid, lash line, I will just take a tiny brush and put a little bit of this black. This is what I did today. I love these L'Oreal palettes. Mascara. Before mascara, I use a cream eyeliner, and I love the Wet n Wild, and I wear the black. And this actually comes with a really neat little tiny brush that is perfect for lining your upper lid line. So I love this. I've had this for several months now, and I've noticed in the last couple of days it's trying to dry up on me, so it's very, very inexpensive, Wet n Wild. And by the way, I always make sure and clean that brush after I use it every time. Immediately after, I just wipe it off on a baby wipe or something to get all the eyeliner out of it, so that it'll be clean when I go to use it the next day. Mascara. It I did buy the Superhero. And like I said, I will not be repurchasing this. I'm using it up. But what I've been doing lately is I found this Milani Length in Seconds Milani Length in Seconds Lash Extension Fibers. And so here's how I do this. I open both up, my mascara and my fibers, and then I take my eyelashes. Sometimes I curl them, most of the time I don't. I don't like my eyelashes curled. My eyelashes are not long, but the way my eye is shaped and my upper lid, when I curl my lashes will touch that hooded part of my eye. So I prefer not to curl my lashes, but I will just drag this brush out so that I wipe all of it off on one side, and then I do the top side of one eye lash, and then I do the underneath, put a good coat on, put that back in there, I pull this out, and then very carefully, and it will look like you have cotton balls on your eyelashes. It really will, but just brush it out the best you can going up. And then I do the same thing with the other eye. And then I go back with my mascara and go over all of the lash fibers and really pull it up and pull those long. You know what I'm talking about. Just get to the base and pull it up. And this does a great job. If I need to use a second coat of this, I do. But most of the time I don't. One coat is fine. And it beats having to put on false eyelashes. When I wear my contacts, I'm extra careful about this because I don't want to get it in my eye behind a contact. You can always take it out. Sometimes I wait and put my contacts on after my face is made up anyway. That way I don't have to worry about this. The next thing I do is I will usually, it's at that point that I'll maybe use my liner on my lower lash line if I need to, or the little bit of eyeshadow. But then I go back and I take my Tarte Shape Tape and I just dot it in those trenches under my eye. I dot it in these marionette lines right here. Sometimes I go over my lips, and then I take a brush and I blend all of that out. Once I've done that, I use my e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. Listen, I'm going to tell you how much I love these little powders. By the way, these last a long time too. You would think that you would go through them real fast, but you don't, and I use a lot of this. But I just take a small, round, fluffy brush, pat some down in the cap, and I dip that small brush in there and I go under my eyes, and then anywhere I've put my concealer, in these lines around my mouth, in these lines, and then I just dust it off, and it holds it. It's just fine all day long, all day. I always have 3 or 4 of these as a backup. I'm scared to death e.l.f. will stop carrying them. I want to say they're $3. Every time I see them, I buy one. I'll just automatically pick one up. Love these. Then I use my blush, and this week I'm going to be using the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso, and you can tell that this is one very loved because I have a good dent in it. I love this color. I find it just sort of goes with everything. But I love this. I do my blush. And, you know, then what I do is I get away from my makeup mirror and I look at a distance. Most people are not going to see us the way we see ourselves up close in that makeup mirror. Most people are going to be a few feet at least away from us. So I'll stand back from my makeup mirror or back from my vanity and look into the big mirror at my vanity. and I look at my eyes and I make sure that where my shadow is, that it's blended, that I'm not lopsided. I just look at my overall face, and I look at, is my blush too heavy? If I've worn bronzer or contoured anyway that day, does that look heavy? And if it does, I do a little adjusting. I do a little tweaking. Many times this is what I use with the fluffy brush. If it's blush, I just go over it real lightly with this, and it sort of tones it down. And then the next to the last thing I do is I do use a setting spray every single day. And I use the Pixie Skin Treats Glow Mist that I get at Target. I love it. I love it. The glow, any glow that you see on my face today in this video is a result of this. It's a result of this. Sometimes I spray too much, and I have to take a tissue and blot it off, or sometimes I'll take a little bit of face powder and go over it a little bit. I don't want it to be wet. I don't want it to be sticky, but I just like I like the way my skin looks with this on it. I buy all of this myself, by the way. Pixie, they have no idea. Petra, whoever she is, they have no idea who I am. I do believe the only place you can get this is at Target. I may be wrong. If I am wrong, if you know, other than their website, leave it in your comments so that others, if they want to try it and they don't have access to a Target store, can find this if they want to try it. I would order this online. For me, that's how much I like it, if I didn't have access to it. And I tell you, it must be popular because every time I go in my Target, I usually buy the last one. I think it's $15. But you shake it up, it will settle, so you have to shake it up, and I just give a light mist, and I hold it out pretty far like this from my face and spray it, and it's just a light mist, and then I give another little spray to my neck area. And then the last thing I do is I use lipstick. Who doesn't? This week I'm going to be using my Milani lipsticks, and this is number 51 Blushing Beauty. And I love these Milani lipsticks. These are not the mattes, they're the creamy one. And this is the color I have on today, Blushing Beauty. I have always had to line my lips, but to make my lips look halfway okay. As I've always had very small lips my entire life, but as I've aged and my face is sagging, my lips are starting to turn under, but this side more so than this side. And I've always had to line, and I'm starting to get some vertical lines, even though I've never smoked. I always drink out of a straw. I have for as long as I can remember, but I can put this on, and I usually do a second. I put it on, blot it, do a second coat, blot it. I may even do a third coat, and it really does stay on for a good length of time. I love these Milani lipsticks. That's it. That is what I have on my face. It is all cruelty-free. Every single bit of it, cruelty-free. Nothing here was expensive. I think either I can't remember how much this concealer is, but this may be a little bit more expensive than the Pixie setting spray, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. But this is not an expensive face. Not an expensive face at all. And I can feel good about the fact that every single product that I put on my face is cruelty-free. That makes me feel good. As I said, I will not purchase any of It Cosmetics anymore. I know that I'm hoping that this has the bunny on it, that this was cruelty-free when it was made, but I'll never trust Jamie again to sell me a product, or anybody else for that matter, if I know they're owned by L'Oreal or Shiseido. I feel the same way about my beloved Bare Minerals. It's not cruelty-free. They're owned by a company that is not cruelty-free. My money is going into that company that is not cruelty-free. It's just not going to happen for me. If it doesn't bother you, that's fine. But for those of you who would like to go cruelty-free with your makeup and you don't know how, that's what my channel will be featuring from now on. I will not review or show any more product that is not cruelty-free. And even if you're not cruelty-free, I think you would like these products. Thank you so much for watching. I've had so many requests for the little red box. I just had to bring it back. So from now on, you'll see me once a week. You'll see me do the face of the week with the little red box, and it will be cruelty-free, and it will be for the very aging face. And you'll see me actually use some of the products. I just didn't film this morning, or didn't think to film this morning when I was getting dressed. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Go out and be kind to someone. It feels real good. And remember, it's the best kind